Welcome to the Frequency Led Podcast. I am Jules, and I'm coming to you today from the comfort of my home, just sitting here in front of the window and looking at this beautiful green trees that right in front of me, and green grass and the earth, and it's just so beautiful. So today I am going to talk about my journey of how I transitioned from the world of healing to the world where I was always wanting to be. And I will reveal a few lessons and thoughts about both worlds and where I see my role and my work now lies for myself and also for supporting my clients when they choose this path. So it's going to be probably a very vulnerable episode. I don't really have any notes because I'm choosing to come here to talk from my state of being in this moment instead of sounding polished or perfect or knowledgeable or smart, because this is been my identity, who covers me up really well. And this is what I've been doing basically all my life. So I'm really good at taking notes. I'm good at studying. I'm good at consuming information, and I love all of that because I still believe that information, when it's used powerfully and also when it's used to help you move forward and take actions and steps towards the dream life that you're envisioning, that's the information that is well used. And a lot of time, and also like where I was and where I am in this world that I am embodying and claiming, I am choosing to access the source within me, access the wisdom, access the experience, access the channel that speaks through me. And that is for me, for you, for us. Of course, first and foremost, this episode is for me because this is something that I meant to talk about for some time. And of course, when we are procrastinating and overthinking, right, that all feels familiar, right? And that's my familiar identity that goes into procrastinations and avoidance and overthinking and so on. And then overwhelm, and then essentially she doesn't do what she's actually meant to do. So that's kind of what I'll be talking about today. So for some of you who have been listening to my podcast, and also some of you who have been working with me, you may feel like there is quite a bit of resonance showing up because I'm choosing to step into my power and speak from the powerful source as I am, and kind of naming things as they are or how I see them. And of course, you can take it or leave it. And of course, you have a choice here to just, at any point, to stop this podcast and let yourself go into the world that you're inviting yourself to go. Okay, so last year I had a huge revelation, and probably just prior to that, in case you don't know my background, but I've been a creative and entrepreneur for about, I would say, 22 years. And my entrepreneurial spirit, surprisingly, started when I still lived in Russia. And why it was surprising? Because in Russia, it was not a capitalistic society. Everything was equal, so we didn't have businesses. But when the curtain came down and just all of that started to change, yes, we started to kind of opening up to more of a capitalistic way of looking at things. And of course, our old world opened up to other countries, including America. And that's where I learned about capitalism, owning your business, American dream. And I used to watch this show that is called The Money World with Adam Smith. And he talked a lot about capitalism, owning the business, and what it's like to own a business. He was also sharing some stories of immigrants who had like $20 in their pocket, and they would come to America, the country of opportunities, and just start their own business. So when I still lived in Russia and the curtain came down and all of that started to just open up, the possibilities, the potential, like that alternate reality that always was existing, but because I didn't necessarily have access to it, physically speaking, because obviously Russia and America, they were, always competing against each other. So it does not mean like because I was not seeing it, because I was not feeling it, because I wasn't there, like that alternate reality was still existing. And when the curtain finally came down, so we actually had exposure to another country, and we all received that and experienced that exposure in our own ways. So this is how I received and experienced that moment in time. So the alternate reality became visible. So I could see it. I could have access to it. I could think about it. I could learn about it. I even could meet some people from the other world because we also had many, obviously, American businesses and Canadian and whatever European businesses started to come to this new market, right, that became open. So back then, I planted a seed, and that was obviously a seed of possibility that came from the field of potential. And back then, I did not really speak that language. And that's what I want to say here. You don't have to speak that language, but it's that deeper knowing that we all carry within ourselves, because that's who we are. So we are manifestors by default. And when you understand the word manifestation, it's not like this magic or miracle that is portrayed out there, which also it is a part of it. I don't want to dismiss that part. But manifestation simply means, like, it's the etymology of the word manifestation, which I like to play with etymology understanding. It essentially means revealed, like revealing. It's so obvious that you can feel like to the touch of the hand. So manifestation, if you want to just substitute this with revelation, then you know you are the source, you are the channel through which everything gets revealed. As I like to say, you are life manifested through you. And also, in other words, Neville Goddard, who is basically the father of manifestation, he says creation is finished. So and how I see that is creation is finished. Like everything that you want to experience through the channel of you, manifest through you, already exists. Creation is finished. Like everything has been created for you. So in your job, when you step into your power as co-creator, your job is to select. So that's why it's so important to not disregard your visions, not to abandon your nudges because it does not feel realistic or because other people judge it as not realistic. You're actually not supposed to be a realist. Your divine gift is imagination. And also, I believe Neville Goddard says imagination is God, because everything gets manifested through you imagining and then bringing it into the physical reality. So that's why imagination is the source of potential. So everything has been created, already been created. Your job is to select. And just to give you an example how I see it, for example, when I go into the kitchen, I'm not creating anything because there is plenty of recipes. There is already so many things that I've already tried. There is already ingredients exist either in the store or in my cabinets or in my fridge. I don't create. I manifest through me because I select. I go out there and I'm like, what am I going to make for dinner today? Well, let me look at my ingredients, right? Okay, I already have this, this, and this. I have so much time. So I know I'm just going to create that. And this is how one day I put blue cheese and I think mayo together, and I created this cool sauce that my husband thought it was the most delicious thing ever. But when I told him the ingredients, he would be like, what? I would never think to put these two together. So what I'm saying here is that that's exactly who you are. You are consciousness, you are universal frequency, experiencing frequency of life itself at every moment. So that's why you are curiosity, you are imagination, you are creativity, you are intentionality, you are consciousness that can always have access to the free will that's been given to you at birth. All right? So that's why you're meant to play in life. You're meant to select, choose, play, experiment, and be curious. Let your imagination go wild in the knowing that it gets to work, because it does, because you are the source. So I know I'm kind of going into all these different directions, but this is how it just shows up in my head right now to kind of give you a little bit of story and take you into my world where it all started, where I did not speak the language, right? But it was that deep truth, deep knowing, deep wisdom that was within me. And I selected back then, I said, I'm going to live in America. And not only I'm going to live in America, I'm also going to live the American dream, which at that point for me was owning my own business. And when my friends or people who I told that to back then said, yeah, sure you will. Because essentially in my world, I didn't have anybody who had done that. I heard stories like from the TV and books and all of that. And essentially those stories showed to me that's potential, that's possible. And I selected that possibility. And at that time, I didn't just select it, I decided. It was my certainty. Again, I did not speak the language, but I was able to access that frequency within me. I decided this is my world. This is where I choose to be. I had no idea how it's going to happen. And nothing in my 3D reality was giving me any signs that it could be like a possibility in my world. But I knew it could be possible. I saw it through others. And I selected for myself, and I also decided it's possible for me too. And this is a huge transition because I see that with my clients all the time. They know theoretically because I essentially attract the similar women as I am who are very much intellectual, overthinkers, and all of that. They want information, they want understanding, and all of that. But what I'm talking about today is not so much understanding. It's about feeling and connecting to the truth and remembrance. And that's how I want you to feel it today. So that's why I'm kind of going all over the place. Feels like to me. But I know this is how it's supposed to be done. Okay. So that's why, if you see that's possible for others, that's great. That's the field of possibility. But you need to decide. You need to move from that it's possible for others to that it's possible for me. And it is, because you're no special than other people. The source treats you as everyone else. Source has no conditions for you. You were born as source. But when we start setting the conditions, this is just our identity who forgot who she is, starts playing out. Because she's learned and the society has taught her that she needs to fix herself because she's not good enough. She needs to prove that she's big because she feels small. There are no conditions. When you understand energetic laws and the energy flow, and you are the source of energy and energy is potential, energy has no opinion about you. Energy does not say, oh, this girl, she was good today. I'm going to give her what she wants. This one, no, she needs to work harder. No, energy does not select. Energy flows, energy is available, and energy is here for you to play with it, to mold your life, to mold yourself, and also be a match, that energetic frequency, to that life that you're selecting and choosing to experience. So and again, back then, I did not understand the laws of the universe. I did not speak the manifestation language. I didn't even know what I was doing. But it's just to, again, show you that this is who you are. You are a natural, powerful manifester that have ever been born. It's just that we manifest unconsciously, unintentionally, which is basically by default, which we also know now from science, it is 95%, our subconscious essentially operates 95%, which creates a life. And that 5% of consciousness, which is a gift of awareness, gift of remembering who we are, that's where we're trying to play. That's why if you're here and listening to this podcast, I know that you're ready to expand that 5% and step into your power, because that's what's going to be creating your reality. That 5% conscious that has potential to expand. And I'm going to talk about consciousness today as well, because that's how I teach the active conscious co-creation. So, and why I'm talking about the kind of my journey in the past is going to make sense for the transition that I experienced last year. So I was on the path of what I saw out there and I just followed. So what I mean by that, I learned about nervous system. I learned somatics. I learned the science. I learned limiting beliefs. I learned rewiring and all of that because, as I've already said, and I know you'll relate to this, I am a learner, and that's been essentially my protective mechanism because feeling smart, looking smart, that I fit in, I match, I belong. Like, people can say, oh, she's smart. But when I start speaking more of that ooh language, what we call it, which is essentially a language like this is who we are. Like when you start speaking like that and it just comes through you and out of you, trust your channel. And that is something that I'm doing today. Like that's it. I'm in my growth zone, which is uncomfortable, but this is exactly how it is because there is no growth in the comfort zone and there is no comfort in the growth zone. Like right now, I'm feeling it, but I'm going with it because I am staying in my power and also the message that I want to get across to you that doesn't come from my memorized, polished, and written every word self. Okay, so going back. So I went around all of that as well because I thought that's what I need to do in order to receive the life that I'm envisioning. And I've already created a beautiful life compared to obviously where I was born and where I was. It's like 100,000% the life that I couldn't even imagine. But that's another point here. Okay, but what I'm creating now, it is my life and also a part of me who has this deep, deep desire to help women just like you to wake up and step into your power as active co-creator and decide to go forward in the knowing that it's all available to you, in the knowing that it all gets to work, in the knowing that you are the one for the vision that comes to you, nudges you. So that's what's been happening in my world. I've been abandoning that call. I've been abandoning that heartfelt desire that I possess, that I look around and I'm like, I know I can support you into going to that next level in the way that feels powerful, in the way that feels like that's the truth, which it is. And then I sit here in the back burner and let my old identity scan my 3D reality and going back to feeling small because that's what feels familiar. Like that's the beautiful lesson that I've learned about a nervous system. And another lesson that I learned from this healing world and the nervous system and all that, like feeling regulated and all of that, is that I started to notice in my own self and also in my clients, like this almost like this addiction, energetic addiction, or that emotional attachment that I need to heal. I need to heal. I need to heal. Or I need to get regulated. Or I need to feel calm. And I started to notice my own body's response that I started to like reject that. And I was just wondering like, okay, like something feels not very much like it's the truth. And it's not. And then one day I just had like this image in my mind. It's like I am standing on the outskirts of the world, like on the edge, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the world to change, kind of like standing in front of the ocean and waiting for the waves to be calm so that I feel regulated. And I believe in myself and I can finally move into the ocean because the waves are calm and everything feels aligned and beautiful. And then, okay, here we go. I can get through and just feel calm and peaceful. And what I realized in that moment, that the whole point is not to wait for the waves to feel calm. The whole point is to step into the ocean while taking ownership of that nudge, of that heartfelt desire for your life that you have, that comes to you, and decide, I am the one for my vision, and the vision is for me. You appoint yourself, and by doing so, you reclaim your power. You're not waiting for the ocean to be calm. You're not waiting for your 3D to change. You're not waiting for that confirmation and validation that your other identity had always been waiting for, because that's how that identity was created. She was created from outside in. So that's why she learned when she goes out and reports to her parents or whoever, like, okay, I made my bed and all my grades are A's. Can I go play? Then it's a check mark. But we keep carrying that identity into our adulthood, and it's time to say goodbye. Like, I'm not that little girl, and you're not here to be small. You're not here to wait for the oceans to be calm. You're the source. You're the cause of the effect that you're meant to create here in your life. by reclaiming your power, by reclaiming your inner power, and reclaiming that you are the source of your creation. And you're capable and equipped to choose the mode for your life that you want to operate in. And the mode, the default mode for operating in your life is not being small. This is like abandoning the energy of you, which is potential, which is expansion. This is the time to actually claim. And I'm not here to play small or big. It doesn't really matter. Like small, big, this is just still kind of like this black and white language that we use in the human world. You're here to expand. You're here to manifest the life through you. You are love manifested through you. You are life manifested through you. Your wealth manifested through you. You are freedom manifested through you. And your identity is that point of through, because your identity becomes your lens through which you see yourself and your life, through which you receive and experience yourself and your life. So that's why stop going out there into the 3D, scan for confirmation, and then come back and use that as your point of reference to create what's possible for you. This is not creating what's possible for you. This is just recreating what's predictable based on what you see in front of you. But when you understand that you are a powerful co-creator and you take ownership of that, you will remember that you're here to choose. And your choice starts. Yes, like that image comes when you close your eyes and you're like, yes. But that image also tells you this is who you are. That vision that comes to you, it actually is your compass. Like we're looking for clarity. You need to be clear. You need to say yes to the vision that comes to you today. And if it doesn't come clear, that's a good sign because you're actually not negotiating with the 3D. That is clear, that is predictable. So enjoy that this vision is not clear, but it comes to you and you feel it and you're like vibrating at a certain level. And that might be just the vision for your relationship, for your retirement, for your success, for your business, for your career, whatever that is. It's that vision that makes you feel alive. And yes, for the identity who would go out there and check for validation, feeling alive might be quite unfamiliar. It's like, am I allowed to be that alive? Like, shouldn't I be like struggling a little bit more? This is like too much exciting. Like, this is where I've been. I mean, kind of like, oh my God, like I feel this is what I'm meant to do. And then I've been going back and forth. And that going back and forth again, it feels familiar. It's something that my identity did and does quite easily. But we also have that 5% consciousness. Okay, so this is where I'm consciously observing and aware of my identity and just letting her be for a few moments and then say, access denied. Thank you. You're not welcome into this timeline that I'm taking ownership to create. And I'm taking ownership to rise my identity to match the vision that is nudging through my entire system, through my channel. And when that happens, it is asking you to trust. It is asking you to trust your channel. It's asking you to trust your source within you. It is asking you to trust the vision. And again, we've been used to go out there and ask, oh, okay, this check, then I can trust my vision. This is creating from the predictable field. Yes, it feels familiar, but it only creates what's predictable, what you've been experiencing already. And this is not who you are. You're here to expand. You're here to tap into potential. You're here to access your imagination. You're here to expand from imagination and select from potential and be that identity, be that source. You're not small. You're infinite potential, you're infinite expansion. You're here to expand. And when you step into your role of an active co-creator, knowing that you're here to expand, knowing that you are the source, you're stabilizing your field. You remember who you are. And this is exactly what happened to me. So going back to that vision that I said, I was standing on the outskirts, on the edge, and kind of like observing the world around and hoping it's going to come to me. And waiting that, okay, when I'm a good girl, will you come to me too? And watching those other powerful women doing what I wanted to do, and then comparing myself with them and hoping that one day they'll select me. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because you have to select yourself. Your vision already chose you. It's your turn to choose yourself. Appoint yourself for the work you're here meant to do, and you're equipped to do the work. You have to give yourself permission to be the source, to be a powerful co-creator. Nobody else. It's not their job to choose you. It's not their job to make a decision for you. It's not their job to envision the dream life for you. It's your job. So that's exactly what I did. Like in that mind, I remember I just took this huge big step, and I just actively stepped into the world, into those waves that weren't feeling calm. But I was ready because I finally realized what am I doing here? I'm just standing on the outskirts and letting them select me. Yes, it's my familiar, but I'm done with it. I'm done feeling separate. And this is that life of separation we live. And you know what it creates? It creates this beautiful, amazing loop that most of our ambitious women experience. And let me tell you what it is. This is the loop. When we feel separate from the world, we're living in the identity that's been used to prove her worth, deserve receiving the dream life. And then we're constantly in this performing state. That's why I spent most of my life. I was performing like crazy and still not feeling enough, and still not feeling like I deserve, not still feeling like I'm worthy. Because I was operating out of false conditions, out of false settings. I was in this whole healing world, and I was trying to regulate myself. And I was trying to feel calm, and essentially that feeling excited and feeling alive was not feeling calm, which I was confused about. Am I allowed even to feel that alive and not excited that this is who I am? No, it just feels too much. Let me go and make myself feel calm. And that was constant back and forth, where I could see myself level 10 identity who has the vision, who is serving amazing women, who is experiencing great success and financial abundance through the portal of her business, through the portal of her purpose, through the portal of how she wants to serve and get paid for. I was always feeling separate from her. And of course, when you feel separate, what do? You're trying to climb, you're trying to chase, you're trying to validate, you're trying to prove, you're trying to heal, you're trying to whatever. And you're always in the gap. And the level 10 identity that matches your vision, that comes to you in your heart, feels it, is available to you now. You can access it now. And you have to give yourself permission to access that version of you now. So, and again, in my mind, in my visual, when I was feeling it and seeing it, I literally stepped into this big circle. The quantum field, I realized, the quantum field is here. And I am in it. And I closed the circle. I removed myself from that little island. I was standing and observing the world, thinking that I'm not a part of it, because that's what I learned. But that was just conditional learning. It's not the truth. And then I stepped in the quantum field and the circle closed, and I'm oh my God, I'm in it. And you know what I realized? Exactly what I was saying in the beginning, which is everything in this quantum field exists. It's all been created. And how I experience that vision is, oh my God, the oceans that existing here in the world, they're for me. The sun, the sky, that's all for me. The green grass, the green trees, the flowers, the animals, it's all for me. I'm loved, because how could I not? When you go into the nature, that's the energy of love speaking and screaming at you. That's when I forget, I am love. I go into the nature and I'm in awe. Oh my God, this is the life I live in, and this is all created for me. I allowed myself to receive that. And at that moment, I'm standing there and I'm realizing, oh my God, when I actually remove my strive for working and proving and deserving and feeling worthy of it, I'm in the present moment of simply just being in awe. You know how much energy it takes to prove that I am enough? For the world to see that I'm enough and then constantly go and get validated there? It's a lot of energy. When you really realize that and you stop doing it, your whole life is just gonna shift in that moment. That's exactly what happened to me. It's my job is not to prove that I'm worthy of this life. My job is to be the channel that is open for the life to be manifested through me, or experienced through me, revealed through me. Like that was the moment where my lens of identity, how I viewed myself and the life, it just got adjusted like 100,000%. And I came out of that meditation, of that visualization, of that whole revelation that was experienced through my channel, manifested through me. And I'm like, wow, now I can see it. Now I can feel it because I am it. I am the frequency of abundance. I am the frequency of love. I am the frequency of potential. I am the frequency of freedom. And that's exactly what I would love for you to like repeat and tell yourself so you remember who you are. Because this is like not the course that I'm trying to teach you here, not some concepts that I learned. This is like truly remembrance. That's why I am talking and embracing it as is in real life right now with you. And it's just like, it just flows, like it flows through me because it's the truth. It's your true frequency. You are energy. Energy is potential. And potential, yes, it's uncertain, it's unclear, but that's the great thing because you're not negotiating with the 3D and recreating predictable. You're here to manifest life through you, your way, your rules. And when you do that, you step into your power of who you're here to be. And when you do that, you're creating a ripple effect. Like when you step into your power and you allow yourself to be who you are and follow those nudges that come to you, everybody benefits from that. And you know why? Because you stop abandoning yourself. And when you stop abandoning yourself, you stop abandoning the source of all creation that created all of what you see and experience here, and it's meant for you. And you were chosen. Like when you were born, you were worthy. Nothing has changed except that we had to go through our human experience and learned and experienced the conditions so that we remember that we are unconditional love manifested through us. And the only conditions we experience is when our human contracts, because growth feels scary. Expansion feels scary. But fear is not separate from love. Love is what holds the fear. And when you allow yourself to, again, love yourself and your vision, what you love, you commit to. You commit to yourself. You commit to your vision. You commit to the source within you. You commit to the life that you're already here experiencing. And there is more for you to experience because you hear the source. You are the source of expansion. You are the source of imagination that has no limits. Because logic only takes you from A to B and B to C. Imagination takes you to the world of the Creator's creation. That's why when we go into the nature, when I go into the nature, like, have you ever tried to count similar tree trunks? They're all so different in so many different ways. Or when you go to the field and you see so many yellow flowers, they're all very different. Or the little ants that we have, they all have a purpose and how many of them are there. It's countless. The birds. And the energy of the nature is essentially the reflection of who we are. And the energy of nature is always in flow because it does not resist. Like the wind goes, the hurricane goes, the ocean overfloods or whatever. It all recalibrates. It all renews. And it's back to expansion. It's back to the beauty. It's back to the abundance. And that's who we are. This is our frequencies. We are universal frequency manifested through us, experienced ourselves in the physical environment. And if you allow yourself to stop questioning your worth, questioning your deservingness, questioning your enoughness, questioning your bigness, questioning that it's all available to you, questioning that you're the one to receive it, you're going to close your energetic leaks. Nothing is blocking you. You don't need to release blocks. Nothing really is limiting you. You're only experiencing those limiting thoughts because you're still staying in the consciousness that is limited. And that's where I'm going to go and talk about consciousness and how I understand and what made sense for me and my journey and where I am. And by the way, let me take a breath here. And I'm just absolutely loving to feel myself in this power state where I'm just speaking with no filter. I've been like contemplating this moment for so long, which again, it's an energetic leak, but I also trusted my intuition and I trusted my body. And right now I feel so supported through my own source, through my body, through my intuition. Because like the old self, when I would speak my truth, I would like, feel sweaty and anxious and all of that. And now I'm just like holding the frequency. And as I am talking about it and taking this pause to just feel connected to my body and the source within me and what's coming through me, it feels amazing. So if something that is nudging you and you want to speak up, and if you want to have support, just reach out. So I have different containers. All my containers are very much customized to you and your frequency because I work with a variety of frequencies for now. That's what I'm choosing, and we can make it happen. And if you don't need support and you're feeling, trust that feeling. Because that's the thing. You cannot out-meditate a lack of your trust. You cannot out-regulate your trust. The trust is within you. This is who you are. And you cannot get something that you already are. This is your opportunity to access trust that is within you. And then allow yourself to calibrate to trust daily. But let me talk about consciousness and what really made sense to me. And I believe these levels of consciousness come from Michael Beckwith. Is it Michael? Maybe it's not Michael, but Beckwith, Mr. Beckwith. And I believe he wrote a book about that too. I think it is Michael Beckwith. But anyway, you can double check on that. And for some of you, these stages of consciousness would be very familiar. And also the stages of consciousness, they relate to the stages of love that essentially we are meant to experience on our physical, mental, and spiritual planes. And I'm gonna bring them together here. And I know it's like probably a lot, but this is what I'm called to talk about here. And as I'm doing that, like I'm closing my eyes, I'm not even looking at the time, I'm not looking at any distractions, like I'm really channeling everything right now. And like this information, not necessarily channeled, this is just something that I learned through my own experience. But I want to talk about it here and then we'll conclude. So because that really made sense to me and it's something that I always use as my foundational teachings when I work with my clients. So the stages of consciousness, the first stage of consciousness is, and this is on a physical plane, life is happening to me. So and this is where we are in our victim identity because of how we experienced life and how we saw our life through the lens of our essentially childhood development. Because remember, again, your identity is the lens. And the stage of love corresponding to this is I need love. And this is basically that human experience of love. A human experience of love. And if we put that all together, that becomes that when I'm a child, obviously I am in the position I need love, like from my caregivers. And that whole interaction creates my experience. So, and this is the stage of consciousness, life is happening to me. And when I'm talking about the stage of consciousness, it's your state of being. This is who you are. And some identities that we experience here become, I am not good enough. I am too small for this job. I am not sure. I'm not clear. I'm not the one who is good at whatever. I'm not that person. So, and this creates your state of being, which essentially is you can feel the state of being and that neediness for love, which is that neediness for validation, tell me who I am, which essentially in that childhood development, we're kind of, figure things out and we're learning from our parents, from society, from how things work. This is how it is, right? So in how I see the stages of consciousness, it's kind of like you're looking through the keyhole that is very small. And that's why your state of being here, the main state of being here is I am not good enough, which is I am small. And when you're looking through the keyhole, you see the world through this small lens. And when you see others creating bigger, better, and more, you doubt that, you question that, you are comparing them and you're saying that's not for me, they're crazy, kind of thing. At least that's where I was. All right. And then we're moving up and some stay in this state of consciousness for a long time and probably until they die. And because it requires some level of awareness or something like happening that for you to wake up and it's like, oh, there is another way. Or like someone, like possibility comes to you and you see somebody else and observe them, and that becomes your possibility. And then you allow yourself to feel that possibility. Oh, that might be possible for me. So the next stage of consciousness becomes life is happening. Life is happening for me. And the corresponding stage of love here is I choose love. And this is that stage of awakening when you realize, oh, okay, well, let me just kind of like explore, be curious. What if I see everything from the perspective of love? And here you have to see yourself already start seeing like, well, what if it's not that bad? What if this person actually loves me and having a bad day today? It's kind of like you're learning to give like that benefit of the doubt, or kind of like start learning and applying like this lesson type mentality, like, well, let me see like what's the lesson here for me. So you're rising up here to your power. You remember that you're granted a free will and you are capable of making choices. Right? So the next stage, and I'm kind of going pretty fast here. So the next stage here is life is happening through me. And this is where we are rising to more of that spiritual plane where we start feeling and understanding and really remembering, oh, I am the channel. I am an active co-creator. So, and this is how I experience the life through me. And the corresponding stage of love here is I am love. So, and this is you declare and you choose and you appoint yourself. You're not waiting for somebody to tell you you are love. You appoint yourself and you're choosing, you're waking up. I am love. And that's your state of being. Okay, that's your state of being. This is like love, unconditional love. The energy, the frequency of love is all creation. That's why when we, again, look at the nature, like that's pure love, that's pure awe, and that's unconditional. And you remember, this is who I am. I am unconditional love. And when we remove conditions, again, we open ourselves to remember that we are powerful co-creators. And we use conditions to kind of like cover up responsibilities. But when we open unconditional love, it comes with responsibilities. So I'm just going to leave this here with another kind of topic, but just kind of to help you see. All right, so in the last state of consciousness that like he talks about is life is happening as me. And the corresponding stage of love here, yes, all is love. So now you see that you're not separate from love. Your love itself experienced through you and as you. So that's why like at this stage, and it's so difficult for many women, for myself included in the past, when I ask them, what do you want for yourself, for your relationship? Like, how do you see your retirement with your spouse and all of that? It's like, I don't know. And that's never the truth. But because we think, again, at that conditional lens, and when we're looking at everything through the keyhole, we think when we declare that we want something, we're going to take it from somebody, or we will make somebody feel uncomfortable. And this is, again, not our nature, and this is not who we are. It's just our condition. But when we come here to the high level of consciousness and we understand I am love and all is love, so we're actually allowing ourselves to voice, this is the relationship I want to experience. This is the career I want to create. This is how I want to impact the people. In the knowing all is love, and I am the source. And that comes from that loving heart, that feeling that, again, makes you feel alive and passionate. You know, what I want is good for the world because it comes from love and not that condition and guilt that I'm taking from somebody and abandoning myself and not living my truth, because you're not living a source here when you're looking at the small keyhole and saying that the world is small, I'm small. That's not the truth. The truth is you are consciousness that can choose any identity that you choose and take ownership to bring forward and create that vision life that, again, is coming to you, and you have the heart that is set for that vision. And nothing stands between you except you saying yes, and you automatically rising your consciousness, like, because you remember who you are. When you make that decision, you open a new timeline and a new level of consciousness, because you cannot create your life from like this to like the second one, you're kind of there, but not quite. But the third and the fourth, that's the co-creation. You're claiming that you're a divine source and the divine source is flowing through you and you are one. That's that love, law of oneness, just like for the image that I was telling you before. I just stepped into the quantum field because I am the quantum field. You're stepping into the source of all creation from love as love. And now you're allowing yourself to be the channel through which love is flowing, being experienced, and create as love. And love does not mean that you have to prioritize some people over others or put yourself on the last mark. No, this is the love that unites and includes all. You're saying that it's possible for me and it's possible for you. And when I'm going after what I want because it comes through my heart and I have a nudge and I am the one and I'm appointing and I'm deciding, I'm taking ownership to go after that. I'm not waiting. You are again claiming and reclaiming you are the source and you influence your 3D and the 3D responds to source, not waiting. And as you do and you go after your dreams, you create ripple effect. Like everybody benefits when you do that. It's just like, it's so crazy when we stay in a small world and we're like figuring things out. Who am I taking from? You're leaking energy like crazy when you could have just redirected this energy to co-creation, to experiencing the life that you're fully here meant to embody through you as source. And when you do, I guarantee everybody in your surroundings is going to benefit from you rising up to your potential and influencing the energy around you and helping others rise to their potential. And like I remember I was, I don't know, in the 10th grade or somewhere, I don't remember when exactly, but I remember in school, and maybe it was already in America when I went to school here as well. And they were talking about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And back then, like again, I wasn't into that, but that's what I'm trying to say. You remember that, like what I'm talking about here, yes, it might, make you feel uncomfortable, but at the same time, the deep inside, that's the truth. Trust that truth. Not me. No, don't trust me. But you have that truth that is within you, that is right now vibrating through you. Trust that truth because you are the source. And if you don't trust your source, what's the point? Like, again, you cannot outsource your trust to your accomplishments, achievements, or when I have, so much money in my account, then I know I'm successful. It's not going to work. You're going to be in the loop and you're going to be looking for blaming, knowing that the keyhole is meant to expand. That's why when I gave you all those levels of consciousness, can you feel the expansion? Can you feel how like the keyhole become the door? And then you open the next door and the next door and the next door. But that door is within you. You are consciousness. Like everything is higher consciousness and you are that consciousness. It's running through you as well. And with that, you're rising to the frequency of love, which is love is frequency of all creation, because like how else would you create? Like from the first level of consciousness, you create, like you're constantly creating from lack because this is who you are. Like that's your state of being. This is your identity. Even though like you're thinking like, okay, I want to, make so much money. No, it's still going to be lack because this is who you are. This is how you see yourself. But when you're rising your consciousness and you're rising to love, these are the foundations for you that tell you, I am love, all is love. And unconditional love does not mean you're just like, whoa, do whatever I want. You're conscious, you're aware, you commit to what you love. And you're here to commit yourself as source. And as you do that, you you render the reality and you get the response. And everybody who is ready to rise with you, they will. And the other ones. And you open the next door. And those doors, they are unlimited. Because expansion is infinite. You are infinite. Your consciousness expands infinitely. And it's still a very small percentage of consciousness that is higher consciousness is aware. That's why when I used to say the saying, like, it's going to be even better than I ever expected, I didn't understand. I was just saying it. But now I know, of course it's going to be better because higher consciousness knows more than my little consciousness is, even though I am living at the level of life is happening as me. I command the reality. And that's why like the Jesus spoke that language, forgot the name of it, but in that language, ask means it's a combination of commanding and demanding. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you command your life? This is your life. It's precious life. Why won't you command it? Take responsibility. Access the choice. Select. And be the one who matches it, which is rising through your consciousness and expanding. And that's the fun of it. And yes, it's scary because it's uncertain, but when you know potential, and potential means uncertainty, you are playing in two worlds. You can continue here and staying in uncertainty and feeling it's uncertain, it's going to be scary, or you really get excited because at this point on right now, as you like turn off this podcast and say, oh my God, I don't know what she said, but I feel so activated and so discombobulated or whatever it is, that's okay. Just go for a walk, go to the gym, like move your body and let all of that sink in. Listen to it again if you want to, or just reach out. You can also place the questions. You can directly email the questions. My email is in the show notes. You can also just schedule a coffee chat, which is just our informal chat to get to know each other. And I truly, truly want to know you. And I truly, truly believe that you're here and you found this podcast because it's meant for you. And just trust that nudge. So, and if we never meet here again, that's fine as well. So, I want to conclude this by saying that you're not separate from the world you live in. You don't need a permission to enter the world. It's not outside of you. You are the permission. There are no blocks. There are no obstacles. There are no walls between you and the vision for your life, relationship, retirement, career, success, business, whatever it is for you, whatever is like that nudge that comes to you and you keep denying it and abandoning yourself because it feels familiar. Because when we abandon and deny, again, we are living a life of separation. When we feel separate, guess what we do? We work harder, we put more effort, we go for validation. All of that feels familiar and it's a constant loop and reactive process of our subconscious mind, because that's 95% of our whole self that creates this reality. But you also have a gift of consciousness, gift of imagination, gift of an intentional observation, and how you observe the world matches to your observation. And you have the ability to observe differently. You have the ability to choose differently. You have the ability to experience life your way. You are allowed. Don't wait. Create. Your vision chose you. It's your turn to choose you. And when you are ready to step forward, step into the world, instead of sitting there and waiting for the waves to be calm, I am your mentor. I am your guide. We're going to link the hands together. And we're going to take one step at a way, but not for too long. Because you're meant to quantum leap. You're meant to bend realities. You're meant to co-create with magic, with miracles, in awe, in love. Because it's all available to you right now. And only in the now you receive. There are no conditions. So take that bold move today in the now. Send that email today in the now. Say those words to your spouse in the now. Give yourself what you deeply desire today in the now. Because only in the now you can open that keyhole, open the next door and say, this is I am. My identity is this. I am a match to my vision, who I see before the world sees it with me. And you stop reacting to the 3D and telling and waiting for the 3D to tell you how you're doing. You command the 3D. You speak as this identity, which I call level 10. She's the match. You speak like her. You work like her. You act like her. You think like her. You decide. Your decision is what activates this level 10 identity, who is a match to your vision. Your decision is literally open the door to the new, not the new, but the reality that already exists for you. You decide. And I'm here supporting your decision. Thank you for being with me in my world of taking you many years back and in between, and where I love to kind of hang out. And thank you for experiencing my raw self. And I love it. I love it. It came from my heart to yours. It is for me, for you, for us. And again, if you feel like you're shaking or too activated and have lots of questions, I'm also going to be running live sessions every month starting in July. It's going to be third Tuesday at 12 p.m. And this live sessions are going to be devoted for giving you kind of all of this, but maybe in smaller doses. I'm intuitive, but I have an idea how it's going to be done. But mostly it's going to be also a space and time for us to connect, ask questions, receive bespoke support, and have a discussion. Like I said earlier, you don't have to believe me, you don't have to trust me, and that's not what I'm asking you to do. No, don't. No, I'm not convincing you here. I'm just sharing where I've been, where I see most women spend a lot of time, where this energetic leaks keep just leaking. And I really would love for you to just experience the life you really want. Like really, it's available to you, it's possible for you. And just trust yourself, trust your source. You have everything you need. Nothing is missing and everything is available to you right now in this moment. But you want to grant yourself permission. Don't wait to be chosen. Be the one now. And if you want to open the discussion or ask questions, just continue following my Instagram and my newsletter. If you haven't signed up, sign up. So I will be announcing and sharing a link to register for my monthly gatherings that I will start in July. And that's going to be called Level 10 Identity, Who Leads. I'm still kind of playing with some titles, but I'm going to make a decision soon. And we will have some time together.